Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm Krakenfall, and here we are. We're at the end of the year, and a lot has happened this year. I am going to be making a video, or if I have it already, I'll put it up on screen, put a link right there. Who knows if I have one yet. I wanted to make a video about the end of the year and everything that's happened, but this video is not that. Today, we're going to talk about games that I wished I played this year. I got through a lot of games, not actually that many on stream. I did play a few offline, but mostly when I'm offline, I get stuck on games like Raft or Destiny 2 or Satisfactory took up a lot of my time this year. Warzone is the game that I play with my buddies. That always takes up an hour or two every night. But there's a lot of games that I wish I played, but I only want to talk about a few of them. Now, these are the games that I just love to look at. I hear about them, they get awards. They're the kind of games that it's like, oh man, that would really be cool for me. I've kind of played less story games this year than I wanted to. I've really been in the survival sandbox or building games, but I love story games. I love a narrative, either ambient, whether it's like the world that you're in tells the story, or whether or not it's scripted, almost like Last of Us, which actually it's a bad example because I never played Last of Us because I couldn't get past the first scene where Joel's something, can't spoil it. There's a scene like the first 20 minutes in that I just couldn't get past. It was too heart-wrenching. Anyway, I do like story games. So that leads me to my first game that I wish I played this year, God of War. The God of War on PS4 came out. That like blew everyone away, right? And I didn't have a PS4 for the longest time, so I couldn't play it. It's finally out on PC. I just haven't been able to get around to playing it. Now that God of War Ragnarok is on, and all the YouTube channels that I watch about gaming and reviews and before you buys and all of those things, like, man, God of War looks so good. And I'm not going to play Ragnarok before I play the first one, the reboot, whatever you want to call it, God of War on PS4. Yeah, it looks so good. And you hear the memes, boy, and all of those things, but I haven't been able to play it. I feel like I need to commit to not playing it on stream because I think it'll take too long. I only get to stream once or twice a week with my work schedule. Maybe I just need to play it offline. Maybe I just need to play it in those hours when I'm not editing, I'm not playing Warzone, I'm not, hanging out with my wife and Hobbs. I don't know. Maybe I'll play it this year. I would love to. The second game that I would like to play and didn't get to, Grounded. I'd seen people on YouTube play Grounded. Grounded is like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. I don't know if you're old enough to know what that is, but it is an old movie. A scientist dude whose kids get shrunken down to like ant size.
I shrunk the kids, and the Thompson kids too. They're about this big. Threw them out with the trash.
What? Dad can fix us, right, Nick? Sprinklers!
I'll tell you, their size. It's a jungle out there.
Grounded is a game like that. It's multiplayer, it's open world, kind of survival sandbox. You can build, but then you're shrunken down to that size. Like ants are like dogs or bigger than you. And I just ignored it. When it came out on early access, I think it was on early access, I don't remember. It just didn't look that great to me, but it came out and it blew up. Like it is doing so well, and I hear actually not that much about it, but I've had some people say, oh man, you would love that game. Raft, if you like Raft, then you should play Grounded. I didn't realize that it would be that good, so I definitely want to give that one a shot. What are you doing, bud? He's like, I was just rubbing against your leg. I didn't need to be up here. He's being patient. I actually don't know that much about Grounded, so that's one, probably just start up and see if I like it. It's pretty cheap, so that seems like a good one to play. Another game which has been on my list forever, since I actually got a PS4, which is Journey. Journey is actually one of the games that I have heard the music to before I played the game, and I look at it and it looks cool. It, like, people have talked about almost the spiritual experience they have playing that game, which, maybe it is. Maybe it's super meditative. But at that point, I'm sold. Like, it's got really good music. It's got really good, cool visuals. It's got kind of an extra, almost emotional experience. I just love video games. So, like, anything that takes me for a ride, lets me have input into what I do and don't do, whether I do well or not or whatever. Like, games to me just suck you in and immerse you in another world for a while. And Journey seems like the perfect game to do that. So Journey, I had hoped to play on stream. I don't know what stopped me, but yeah, I'm gonna have to give that one a try this year. The next game isn't really a game. It's more of a type of game. So I have the Valve Index, and I play Phasmophobia on Fridays on stream. Got a squad that I play with, but I don't really use my Index as much as I'd like to. I played Half-Life Alyx and I love it. Man, that game is so good. It's the best VR game that I've ever played. I also like games like Super Hot. Beat Saber, and my favorite game actually that got me into VR in the first place like years and years ago, Space Pirate Trainer. And I love those games, but I haven't really broken out and played a lot of other VR games. I feel like the primary experience or the primary games for VR are all kind of arcade games, which is fine. I mean, VR is really awesome and I love it, and I could make an entire video about why I love VR, but arcade games can only take you so far. Like, you're only in there for a little while. And if you have friends, maybe you stay in there. Like Rec Room is a game that's like all kinds of tabletop, like table tennis and ping pong. I don't want to call it table tennis. I never call it table tennis. And you can do like basketball, badminton, and other games that, you know, are kind of fun and interesting to experience. There's also that famous game where you ride up an elevator and you have to like walk out on a 2x4 in real life, but it's like up at the top of a skyscraper. So like there's a lot of cool things about VR, but there are a bunch of games that I would love to play in VR. There is A Fisherman's Tale, which is another game that I've heard is wonderful. There's also games like The Vanishing of Ethan Carter, which had a VR re-release, you know, and I just want to spend more time in VR. So maybe I'll play some more VR games on stream. I could switch to VR in my Subnautica playthrough. I have been playing that on stream. I don't know. I want to play more VR games. Now, the last game that I would love to play is a game that technically I have played already, and actually I played it this year, and that's Valheim. But Valheim burnt me out. I got obsessed with that game for a while. I was playing it offline. I was playing it just for myself right around the time when my channel blew up, because work was kind of getting a little stressful. I mean, you probably heard this story on my channel if you watched my videos before, but it's a nice game. I like Valheim a lot. But man, once you start getting into like silver weapons, if you've played Valheim, it really requires a lot of you, and you really can't die. The punishment or the pain for dying goes up almost exponentially, at least on a linear curve. Like it's so bad when you die, and especially if you have bases that are like far away, and you die, you spawn at a base, and then you got to run all the way back. Like, if you didn't set your spawn point on the other side, or actually no, you can't set your spawn point. I guess I never made beds to reset spawns. I don't remember. Anyway, I'm not a perfect player by any means, but I'm just saying that there are times when you get way far away from where you died, and all of your stuff, your pickaxe, which is what determines your progress, right? If you can't mine current or new ore, then you can't move forward in terms of like building better weapons and all that. Like that's the only thing that you do in that game is build and then craft better weapons or better tools. And yeah, it just, I died too many times and I was like, I'm done. I hate losing progress, and that game lets you lose progress in the worst way. That being said, Valheim, I found a mod that just blew my mind, and that mod is the Shipbuilder mod, which allows you to set your base and build on your boat, which doesn't sound like a lot, but that turns the game suddenly into Wind Waker plus Minecraft. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this sounds so cool. Suddenly your base is mobile and you don't have to build a bunch of satellite bases. You just go where you want. And as long as, you know, you don't get like a giant breaking your ship and like killing your ship. Like, I don't know how the mod deals with that, but as long as you don't lose your ship, you're good. And you die and you respawn back on your ship where everything is, because it's not spread out over multiple satellite bases. And that's another thing about Valheim that kind of stinks, is that they don't let you warp, because you can build teleport like warps, but you can't warp with any metal on your body. Like if you have ingots or ore, you just can't. You have to walk, you have to run, or use your ship. So like it really encourages you to pack everything up in a ship and then take off. But then that makes it even more painful to die. So that Shipbuilder mod sounds so good. And I wanted to get back into it. I wanted to mod it. Plus there's the mists. There's a new content drop, Mistlands, which that's another reason. I mean, I don't know what's in there. I actually stopped paying attention to the game months before the Mistlands DLC came out, or event, or I don't even know what it is, but it sounds really cool. And I would love to get back into Valheim. Maybe I'll do it on the channel. Maybe I'll stream it a bit. But who knows? I'm excited for these things. I mean, hopefully I can get to them this year. I have no time. I wish I had time. I'm like trying to figure out how to grow the channel and do more content and make enough money to hire an editor and, you know, release the Let's Play episodes of Satisfactory and Subnautica that I already have. I have a stream, Later Alligator, which is a game I played in like September, that I want to release on the channel, but just don't have time to edit it. So who knows? I mean, I've got a lot of challenges and I've got a lot of fun to have this year in 2023. And I'm looking forward to it. So anyway, if you like this video, please click like and subscribe, click the bell for notifications. If you are already subscribed, thank you so much for hanging out, sticking around and watching, but I will have to go for now. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.